2014 has been an incredible year to be supporting and being involved in AFC Bournemouth, and I am here today with Cherry's chairman Jeff Mostyn, and we're going to take a look back at his highlights to bring back hopefully some good memories as we head into 2015 and look to the future. Firstly, Jeff, I'm going to hand you some photos which hopefully jog some memories, and you can talk about why the memories were so special for you.
I did say, I hope that this isn't the age test.
No, it isn't testing me as much as everyone else. Okay, first up we have this image, which was of course from back in March, from a certain win over a certain Leeds United.
Well, I mean, the memories flood back from this game, and again, without the cliche, if my memory serves me right, we won the game 4-1. And this was a fantastic start to the game, and it really set the scene for, I thought, a real good hammering of one of the opponents that the crowd loved to beat. And this was in the very first minute, Jan scoring a fantastic goal. And I think it just sort of set the scene for the boys to go on and run. It was like a rampage. The crowd were ecstatic that evening, and any victory against Leeds is always a special moment. Second
up, this is one of my favourite pictures personally, just because I think this photo of Tommy probably kind of sums Tommy up in terms of his passion, and I think this was quite an incredible day, of course, the win over QPR.
Well, it was a very special day for everybody concerned with the football club. QPR, to all extents and purposes, a Premiership side relegated to the Championship. Kevin Bond, one of my best friends, so there's a fierce rivalry there, and there was all that season. And of course Harry Redknapp coming back to the stadium for the first time as a manager. And for Tommy to score, and it's quite strange, this is also a long time ago now, with everything that has happened this season, but he wears the captain's armband, and I don't think anything symbolises this football club better than Tommy with that captain's armband on, having scored a goal.
Next up, now we are looking at this season, so hopefully these are a bit more fresh in memory. I don't think anyone's going to forget this one too soon. This is one of many goal-scoring celebration images from the day. This is of course the win over Huddersfield, which certainly kick-started this season.
Well, you know, this was just again a memorable day in August. It was quite nice to be driving north in a bit of sunshine rather than recently with the bad weather. But having lost 5-1 there, I think it was the third game of the season, it was the Saturday or the midweek after we'd lost to Watford. So we'd conceded 11 goals in the first two games, 5 came at Huddersfield. To go back there and absolutely thrash them in the first game of the season was incredible. And again, if my memory serves me right, we scored a goal in the very first minute. So the first minute of the new season, and of course we haven't stopped scoring goals since. So just an amazing feeling to be there. Who would have thought when that first minute goal went in, that at the end of the year we would be top of the Championship.
And that day was the first time we got a glimpse of a certain Callum Wilson, and we got 2 goals that afternoon. And what a fantastic start for him.
And of course again he could have had a hat-trick with a penalty, but that didn't matter. You know, winning 4-0 was incredible. At that stage it would have been nice to get the 5th goal just to replicate the previous year's score, but I suppose 5-1, 4-0 or 4-1, you know, it's all evened itself up. So fantastic memories.
This one is actually an image of Jason Tindall, as you can see, just because I think this is one of the most iconic images from the day, is of course the evening that we beat West Brom here. Another memory that is not going to be forgotten. Obviously this is in the Capital One Cup.
Yes, well, seeing JT, you know, it is an iconic image, you know, of JT. So much thought and planning had gone into this game. It created yet another record for the football club, but it took us into the quarter-final of the Capital One Football League Cup for the very first time in the club's history, and no other Championship side had ever made 10 changes against a Premiership side. And you know, everybody sort of said West Brom are going to come here, they're going to have a weakened side, you've got a chance. But I think Eddie and Jason surprised everybody, including our own supporters, making exactly the same number of changes as our opponents did that night. And to beat a Premiership team with 10 changes was just absolutely incredible. And of course it set up another memorable evening against Liverpool.
It was a very memorable evening against West Brom. Obviously kind of they got back into it, and you thought,
Yes.
oh, is this going to go to extra time? Have the boys got it in their legs? And then, of course, we popped up with the winner.
Yes.
And it kind of, that almost made it more special, because you really had to dig in.
Yeah, I think the the famous hit "Silence is Golden" comes to mind, because their fans were still singing, probably not even watching what was going on. Whilst they were singing, we went up the other end and scored again. And that was again a memorable goal, because you felt that having lost the lead right at the end of the game, had it gone into extra time, would the Premiership side have fancied their chances. Fortunately, they never got an opportunity to put that into play. So it was an incredible night here. When
I looked through these photos from the West Brom game, I nearly picked an image of Bailey Cargill, because I thought he kind of represents, to me, a highlight of the Cup campaign, one of our own kind of coming through, and he's kind of really shown the world.
Well, he is one of the highlights. We're talking about the team effort here rather than individuals, but Bailey absolutely, picked out, one of the highlights of the season for the football club. I've had the privilege of watching every round of the Capital One Cup, including, I think I was by myself at Exeter. Nobody fancied that trip on a Tuesday night, but Bailey, shone there, and of course it culminated in getting an England under-20 cap and scoring a goal. So what a season for that young man, and what a future he has.
This is a different image, because I actually picked an image from the Blackpool game, because it was one of your highlights. And for anyone that was there or seen on social media since, it was obviously a very memorable 6-1 win very recently. So this one, no excuses, this one should be in your memory.
Yes.
And then of course the team and players going over at the end to celebrate with the travelling supporters.
Yeah. This is an absolutely fantastic image, and it epitomises the club strapline, doesn't it? Together anything is possible. There's nothing demonstrates that more than the team lining up as one in front of our own supporters. And I have to say, all credit to the Blackpool supporters that stayed behind. I think there was a double-edged sword. Half of them stayed behind to try to kill off their own chairman, and thank God it wasn't me. For once, I was the good man, not the villain. But they also applauded the team off the pitch. But this was just a scintillating performance by any stretch of the imagination. Again, people, I don't know whether it's the negative part of the brain, after the Liverpool game, people thought, are we going to bounce back? The Liverpool game was something completely different. And I have maintained that, in particular in the second half of the Liverpool game, we played magnificently. And that was a momentum to carry on to Blackpool. Getting back to business as usual, in some respects, it was quite good to have, all the drama of the Capital One Cup behind us, and the boys could go out and concentrate. I think they got a shock when they arrived at Bloomfield Road. It looked more like a Sunday League pitch. But again, we've always maintained, and I think it's an old-fashioned cliche, that when you have better quality players, both sides have to play on the same pitch, and the better quality players will always shine through. Not only did we shine through, we absolutely slaughtered a very poor Blackpool side, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. That notched up, the final goal notched up 50 before Christmas, and here we are, at the end of one of the most memorable years in this football club's history, if not the most memorable year in the club's history. Top of the Championship, which also means we're top of the entire Football League family tree. And to have a Christmas #1, not even Simon Cowell could knock us off that perch this year. This is the true Christmas #1. And I'm thrilled that the players have provided our supporters with displays to be proud of. And we just hope that the momentum can keep us going, right through to May next year. But it's certainly been one of the most memorable years of my life.
Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to Jeff for joining us to talk through these moments. Hopefully 2015 will have even more memorable moments for us and you as supporters to enjoy. Thank you for watching.